You are now tuned in to the #1 nursing podcast in the world, the Scrub Me In podcast by Nurse Junior and Anthony.
You are now tuned in to the #1 nursing podcast in the world, the Scrub Me In podcast by Nurse Junior
and Nurse Anthony.
Yes. This is episode 19. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Tell a friend, tell another friend.
To tell another friend.
Yes, sir. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we're on that as well too. Of course, YouTube as well. Let's get those subscribers up. But yeah, this is episode 19, and
something like that. Yeah, baby.
we got a special guest on the phone. She's from the Weezy, Louisiana to be exact. How about you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Cassie. I am from Louisiana. I've been a nurse for 9 years now.
Okay.
Working here in, Louisiana, which is a wonderful state for nurses.
Do you guys call it
Heavy
the Weezy like Junior just called it?
No, actually, I don't think I've ever heard no, I do call it Ratchet City and Sweetport, but I've never heard the Weezy.
Yeah, that's just me. I just call it the Weezy. But
did you just come up with that?
Did I just come up with it? No. I always call it that,
Because really good friends with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, Lil Weezy. So that's where it kind of originated from.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so you said you've been a nurse for 9 years. Tell us about why you became a nurse, Cass.
Well, it's not for any noble cause or anything. To get real personal, I had a baby and I was 19. And so, I really didn't have any prospects. And so I was thinking to myself, what is something that is a career that you can be a single mother and support a child on and pay all the bills, and that you can start doing as quickly as possible and not have to worry about career stability. And the best thing that I could come up with in a crunch was nursing. So I had her at the end of July, and I started nursing school 2 weeks later.
Hey, damn.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I'm sure that I'm not alone in getting into nursing for money, but that's kind of a hot take.
Oh.
I don't know.
You think that's a hot take? I don't think so.
No.
I think that's that just sounds smart to me.
Yeah, I don't think it's as hot of a take depending on where you are in, geographically.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in this area are really conditioned to view it as a calling or some sort of moral choice.
Absolutely.
I just do it for money.
I got you.
Yeah, I think it's cap. Honestly, a lot of nurses right now, if they say they ain't doing it for the money, that's a goddamn lie.
Oh, 100%.
And after the pandemic, it's even 10 times
100%
a lie. So a high percentage of nurses, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after the pandemic. I just think it's interesting who will tell you that.
So I have a question, though. How difficult, school in itself can be difficult. How hard was it with a newborn?
Incredibly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was blessed. Thankfully, I was able to move in with my dad and my stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helped a lot. But it was, it was really, really hard. Being able to do a lot of my classes online at the beginning when she was much younger was helpful as well.
Right.
And, it's one of those things you do what you got to do. So I made it through, but I have a lot of gray hair because of it, I'm sure.
Hey, that's okay. We're all coming out with our grays here,
Yeah, that's a fact. So you've been a nurse for 9 years now. How was let me ask you about this. Louisiana, how is it being a nurse in Louisiana in terms of the pay for anyone that's interested in working out there in the future for our listeners?
Well, just in general, working in Louisiana, the pay is not great. notoriously, Louisiana is one of the lowest paying states in the United States in general. I do well because I do flex pool, so I work at every facility within the system that I work for. But if you're not able to do something like that, I think that the last I heard, straight up, the new nurses were getting like $24 an hour.
But what's cost of living like over there, though? It's probably not crazy either.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial expert, but you know, it's I guess based on housing, houses are going for like $250,000 minimum.
That's all right. That's attainable.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely obtainable. There's way better places to work, financially speaking, for sure. But I mean, you know, you can definitely make a living.
Absolutely. You could raise a newborn on the living, you know?
Yeah. Don't recommend it. But yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Specialties. What specialties have you, because you said you've been a nurse for about 9 years. So what specialties have you dabbled in within those 9 years?
Well, the first 6 were strictly ICU. I went straight from nursing school into an SI. Worked there for 6 years. I was charge nurse in the COVID ICU briefly, and then after the pandemic, I went and, like I said, I chose flex pool. So now I work in everything, anything. The only thing I don't dabble in is pediatrics, labor and delivery, and psych. Everything else I do.
Awesome.
Okay. Which one do you like the most? What do you enjoy most?
Yeah, if you could choose one, what would it be?
Ooh, honestly, I think I would still choose. I think I'd still choose ICU.
Okay.
Like SI.
Wait, what's SI?
Surgical.
Oh, surgical. I got you.
Surgical ICU.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now going back, nursing school. How was that process for you? As a 19-year-old, you were 19 at the time, right?
Yeah, like when I went to clinical, I think I was like 20, 21 in there. So I was older than most of my classmates. And I was definitely at a different point in my life than most of my classmates. I would say nursing school, for me personally, given all my circumstances, was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
For sure.
Probably. It was good and bad. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how the world works. But it was horrible. I have no shade.
Oh, that's funny.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was so bad. There was just so much ridiculous shit that happened in nursing school.
What made the experience so negative for you? Was it more so like the teachers, the people you went to school with?
100% the teachers. 100% the teachers.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough to like speak to nursing school as a whole, or even in this region. I don't think that my experience was necessarily the standard experience, but we did have a lot of nursing students drop out because of, quite frankly, like bullying issues between the teachers.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. There was multiple times that I had to do either something incredibly dumb as a result of some teacher's decision, or there was a point in time when I had to like threaten to call the police.
Damn.
On a teacher. So
Are you allowed to share that story or no?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sign an NDA or anything. I'll tell you about it. So, I don't know what it was about me in particular, but this teacher did not like me at all. Like from day one. I don't know why. Probably will never know why. But there was one instance in particular. I've been dealing with her for months. It was just like snide little comments and her saying things, and I'm just trying to just keep my head down and be quiet because it was 5th level. Like, we're at the end.
Yeah.
I just want to get through this. Leave me alone.
For sure.
And we were in a library doing like community health stuff, and she grabbed me by the arm, like with her old woman crusty claws, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And she like, it was hard, and she started ranting and raving about like my earring. She really didn't like my earring. Anyway, that's immaterial. But she was just going off, and she was like, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I looked at her, and I said her full name, which I won't say here. I was like, what you need to do is get your fucking hands off of me, because I'm about to call the police. This is literally assault. Like, I'm a grown-ass woman. You can't just grab people. What is wrong with you?
So funny.
What is going on?
I love how the more you're getting into the story, that like Louisiana twang is coming out too.
Yeah, that's Southern hospitality.
That was like 2014, 2015. I'm still mad about it to this day.
So
I'll never let it go.
So you called did you press charges? Did you call the police? Like, what happened?
No, I didn't press charges or call the police, but I did threaten it. So I think that was enough. She let me go at that point. She was like, why would you even say that? And I was like, what are you?
Why would you grab me, bitch?
Like, that was totally. Like, out of all of this whole situation, that is the most reasonable part. I could have just bumped you.
Absolutely.
Like, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
So that was like an ongoing issue with her. I think I don't know what her deal was, but it's on site for real.
Let's go.
Facts. Oh man.
She was something else. There were a lot of teachers that were like that really made like making the students suffer their whole personality.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't know why that is. I mean, I'm sure that someone who is, more educated on psychology could explain that, but
do you think most teachers are like that to prepare the student for the real world of nursing?
I mean, if that's their reasoning, that's crazy.
I don't think so, because I think at any level you get educators like that, and they think that because we're students, we're young, whatever, they can just they almost hold our future in their hands, and to some degree, and I feel like they just power trip.
Yeah, no, I felt that a lot.
Yeah,
like 100%. I feel like I've had that in high school. I had that in nursing school. I had that at every level. And even now, I feel like at times I see clinical instructors come on our unit with students, and they talk to them any type of way. And I'm just like, yo, chill out. Like, you're talking, like, even though, like, some of the students that come through there are adult students, I mean, you're still talking to kids. Like, at the same, like, if you're a 50-year-old woman talking to a 25-year-old student that way, you're still talking to a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you got to think about that. And when you're a student, there's so much pressure. Like, you just want to pass, you want to graduate. In a situation like Cassie, you got a kid at home. Like, there's a lot of students out there with kids at home that has that added pressure. Like, who are you talking to like this? It's crazy.
No, you're right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember vividly. It was a different teacher, shockingly enough, that I had it. Again, I don't know why she didn't like me. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was the problem. I don't know. Maybe I'm the drama.
I don't know, Cassie. We're 15 minutes in, and I love you already, so don't worry about that. It ain't you.
Facts.
Oh, love you too. Oh, my God. Maybe it was me. But she, like, again went off on this tangent, and this is in the middle of like the clinical site where there's patients around, there's administrators, there's actual like real life nurses. I'm still a nursing student, so they were like impressive to me. And she's just going off on this tangent, and I looked at her and I was like, ma'am, respectfully, I have a child and a mortgage. Like, I don't know who you're talking to like this. I'm not a kid. I'm not your kid. I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman.
Facts,
I pay your fucking salary, dog. Like,
you know,
you're not tenured.
I like that. I have a child and I pay a mortgage.
Yeah, bro. You gotta let these motherfuckers know.
You gotta let them know, for real.
Yeah, like, I'm not these, and you shouldn't treat these 19, 20-year-old little students like that either.
That's what I'm saying.
But at that point, like, I've been raising a kid. I'm not one of these little kids that just graduated high school and doesn't know any better.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I'm a grown up. Why are you talking to me like this?
Facts.
It was wild. But there were a lot, I will say this, there were a lot of really wonderful teachers at that school. I don't know why there was such a sharp dichotomy there, but the teachers that I had that were good, they were amazing. They were wonderful, extraordinary, compassionate, empathetic. Absolutely loved them. To this day, they're fantastic. Like, I'm friends with some of these old teachers on like social media, which is crazy.
Shout out to those good teachers out there,
man, for real.
There's still some out there.
We need y'all, man.
So
yeah, I mean,
sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say there was a couple of them that really, like, if they had not stepped up, because there was a point in time whenever, you know, I commented the other day, I had to take labor and delivery and peds twice because it's two classes that you take concurrently, and if you fail one, you fail the other. Well, you can only fail two classes, and then you have to appeal to remain in the program.
Yeah. So,
I had to appeal, and if it hadn't been for those couple of teachers, like, really going to bat and speaking for me, I wouldn't have become a nurse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel like this is becoming like an ongoing trend with like students that unfortunately have to retake classes, and then there's always that one educator that's there that actually cares about their job and cares about the students that pull through for them. You know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's no, and I don't think that the importance of good teachers can really be overstated. Like, if you are a teacher and you're listening to this and you are dedicated to those students, you're literally changing lives.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Like, they didn't just change my life. They changed my life, my kid's life, my husband's life. You know, I mean, it's a huge ripple effect that they'll probably never know about. Absolutely. But, you know, it's because of them. It's because of those two ladies that I'm where I am today.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. So, has there ever been, when you were in nursing school, was there a moment where you're like, you know what, fuck this, I can't deal with this, I might just drop out?
No.
Okay.
For me, there was a lot of times that if I didn't have a kid, 100%.
Yeah.
But for me and my circumstances, it was literally like, I have to do this. This is about survival.
Right.
Yes.
So for me, there were a lot of times I was like, I'll be damned if I do quit. Like, you're trying to make me quit. You will not make me quit. Right. But there was never a time that I was like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. Did you happen to go to your graduation?
Hell no.
I had a feeling you did it.
You know what? I never went to mine either. I don't know if I ever told you. Yeah, I never went to mine.
I went to mine, but I slept through the damn thing.
You know?
Hell no. I did not go.
My graduation was like 4 hours, 5 hours long deep. I'm like, what are we even talking about? You know what I mean?
I wasn't about to sit through that. I just felt like I had better things to do, you know?
Yeah. I wish I could have slept, but
You
they,
did sleep.
yeah, I should have went home. But typically, yeah, if you don't go, I guess they just mail you your
Yeah.
diploma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they mailed it to me. No, I thought about it. They were telling me, it's gonna be like $800 for this gown, and you got to drive. For us, where I went to school, like the nursing school is like 3 hours away from the main campus. It was gonna be on main campus.
Right.
I'm not doing all that.
yeah, $800
Hell
for a
no.
gown that you're renting for what 3-4 hours?
Ain't no way.
That's bonkers. I ain't doing
Hell
that.
no.
Wouldn't be me.
Doing
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh my goodness.
I'm absolutely not doing that. And so, also at that point in time, I had already taken a job as a nurse
Right.
Oh wow.
with the facility that I work with. So, no, I had to work. I just went to work.
I hear you on that.
So for you being earlier, or being a little bit older than everybody else, Cassie, I'm assuming you didn't go straight from high school to nursing school. Regardless
I
of
did
that,
not.
yeah. Regardless of that, though, what was your transition like going from, preparing to have a child, having a child, and then getting into school?
So, okay, let me walk you through this because it's kind of a tale. So I was in college when I got pregnant with my kid.
Okay.
I was in school for history. I had already been in school. I've been in dual enrollment since I was a freshman in high school.
Damn.
So I'd already been taking classes at different universities. I have 3 different universities that I've attended. And so by the time I actually graduated with my nursing degree, they were like, hey, you qualify for like 3 other ones. Do you want them?
Yeah.
So I actually have 4 degrees.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's how long I was in school for. So it really wasn't, all I was doing before I had her was I was going to school and I was working as a waitress. So I really wasn't doing anything that different from your average, like, college student.
Right.
It just went from, like, oh, party, happy, fun time, to, like, oh, shit, this is, like, really serious, really, like, right now.
Yeah.
So,
Like life is starting right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
It went from, like I said, everything was chill and fun, and I was going to school and working as a waitress, which is not fun, but, doing all that to, like, oh, now I can't raise a kid with a history degree. What am I going to do with that? So it was more so just a shift in perspective rather than, like, what I was actually doing.
I got you.
No, definitely. I'm glad you made that shift to nursing, because if you didn't, we wouldn't have met. And on top of that, we wouldn't have you on this episode. So
That's right.
it's big. But by me touching on that, so me and Cass met in Louisiana, and, I worked at the same facility as her. So I know on one of the episodes prior, we had talked about the one facility I worked at, and the cafeteria door was open.
Yeah.
This is the
I can hear you laughing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, guys, you want to talk about that a little bit?
It's still broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
funny.
hilarious. So
It's
I
still
think what happened was, I was working the night shift with everybody, and I guess a patient wanted something, and I'm like, oh, do we call security to, come down with come down with me so I can get the juice and whatever they need? And everyone was like, no, you don't need to do that. Just go down and yank on the door. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, the door's broken. Just yank on the door. And then one nurse was like, yeah, when you go down there, just give me a bag of Doritos and a slushie while you're at it. I'm like, do I have to pay for it? Like, what? No, just take it. I'm like, oh, okay. Man, I get down there, it looked like Candyland to me.
That's so funny.
I'm talking like 5 different slushie machines with different flavors, bags of chips, chocolate, like, you just take whatever the hell you want.
You're talking to the inner fat kid in me right now, bro.
So
that's funny.
I'm shocked they have not fixed that door. I'm very shocked.
They don't care. They don't care. But they did say something about it at one point in time. Like, they sent out an email. They're like, please make sure that you bring, like, a little slip with the patient's name and what you're getting when you do that. And that was it.
Oh.
I mean, it's obviously you don't care that much because the door's still broke. So.
And honestly, all I'll do is I'll show up with like a patient sticker or whatever.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
and
I'll write the list.
They're sleeping. It's 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, it's way cheaper than the saline you're running at, 50 milliliters an hour.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Shout out to that cafeteria because they do not care, like you said. The other thing about the one thing I liked about that facility, Ant, was the food, man. Breakfast time. Oh my gosh, I'm talking like French toast, pancakes, sausage links.
Yo, don't sleep on Louisiana food, bro. I was in New Orleans this past summer, and I had some Louisiana food for the first time. It didn't, and I'll say this, all right. Admittedly, when I got some of the food that I got, so one of the things I got was like a gumbo. I looked at it, and I was like, this looks like garbage on a plate. But I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest.
Yeah.
But then I took that first bite, and I was like, God damn, get me 2 more. I was like, get me 2 more garbage on a plate.
Yeah.
This is good.
I'm telling you.
This ain't enough,
Man, there's this, and I think Cass made it for the unit once. What was it, crawfish etouffee?
I made a lot of stuff over the years, but I think
Probably made gumbo too.
I made barbecue shrimp. I did make gumbo every year after Thanksgiving. I take like the leftover turkey pieces,
Yes.
and make, because nobody wants. I'm sorry, if you say you do, you're lying. Nobody wants to eat turkey sandwiches for weeks.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely
never.
Never.
That's crazy. But take all that turkey that's left over and make turkey and sausage gumbo with it. You won't have no leftovers within like 2 days. Problem solved.
That's beautiful.
Very.
We might have to go to Louisiana, see Cassie for New Year's.
I'm telling you,
or for Thanksgiving.
Facts. You might have to. For real. No, she can cook well. So in nursing, tell us any interesting stories that you'd like to share with your time being on the floor or unit. I do remember one story that I wanted to share, and it had to do with the facility that we worked at. I don't know if you remember the shooting that happened in the parking lot.
What?
Cassie's like, which one?
There must have been many.
Cassie's like, which one?
Yeah, which
I
one?
know which one you're talking about. Okay. You know that they found him innocent.
Oh,
Really?
Shout out. Shout out.
They did, yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought he would have got like 30 years.
As they should. I would have done the same thing, first of all. So what had happened was these people were not really affiliated with the hospital. This kind of happened there. But apparently there was some road rage incident. Obviously, in my opinion, the guy didn't think anything of it because he backed into the parking lot, like into the parking spot. And if you think something's about to go down, I don't think you're about to back in.
Facts.
Who's got time for that?
Right.
So, anyway, homegirl, pulls her vehicle in front of his, kind of blocking him in, gets out. Mind you, she's, older. She's, 60, late 60s. Gets out with a baseball bat, commences to just hitting his car and, threatening him with his baseball
Holy
bat.
shit.
He pulls out his little mouse tool and unloaded. Just let him fly.
Did he kill her?
Yeah, I think she died.
Yeah, hell yeah, he killed her.
Holy shit.
Right outside.
He
in the
unloaded
parking
the
lot.
whole magazine. Yeah, right there in the
Holy
parking lot.
damn. Yo, here's the thing, though. In the U.S., I ain't traveling with a baseball bat, bro. Because that's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, literally.
Basically.
Everybody's strapped up in the U.S. Why on earth would you bring out a baseball bat?
And I don't think she knew that he was carrying like that because he was in his 20s or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Even if I cannot think of a single a single incident where I would be like, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to block somebody in and beat their shit up with a baseball bat.
Okay, so here's the thing. Did they not know each other either?
No.
No.
Road rage incident.
They did not know each other.
Holy shit.
It was a road rage incident. So she followed him into the parking lot. And that's the other thing, like, there was a whole bunch of details to this story, which, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but, you know, the family had claimed that he had rear-ended her. There's no damage to either vehicle. So, and then also, how did he get, that light is like right there. You know, Junior, how you turn right there to go right. Yeah. There's nowhere that he could have gotten in front of her and gotten to the parking lot first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So how are you going to rear end her and then it didn't make no sense. But like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but obviously the lawyers agree because he was found not guilty and released.
And then I remember I was reading the story on it because it's on the internet.
Oh, for sure.
And I guess she was a baseball coach, so that explains the the baseball bat. R.I.P. though, but
I mean, R.I.P. R.I.P. You know,
for sure. Rest in peace, for sure. Like, I'm not saying, you know, who was right or wrong, but I am saying I would never.
Oh, for sure.
I would never get out of my vehicle, especially me, because, like, Anthony, you don't know, I'm a little girl. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I feel like anywhere, though,
you know?
despite the U.S., I'm not like a road rager by any stretch. But I just know, man, if something's popping off in the car, I just let that shit go.
Yeah, just go. Like, I'll let them pass by me.
Oh, 100%.
It's not worth it.
I'm going home today, you know?
Yeah.
That right
now. For sure. I'm not going to die and be remembered as, she was road raging. Like, how embarrassing. I'm not.
Facts. R.I.P. though. R.I.P. Yeah. Facts.
R.I.P. though, for real. R.I.P. There was also an alligator in the parking lot that one time.
All right, we need to hear this fucking story. I'm tired of this Florida, Louisiana stories, man. Y'all just got alligators.
I don't remember the alligator story, so let me hear this.
There was. I mean, it wasn't like nothing came of it, but I think it was a day shift nurse or like a day surgery nurse rather, was walking out to her car and thankfully looked underneath it. Not so much because it would have like gotten her, but it really would have messed up her alignment for sure if she hit it. But there was a big ass alligator up under her car, just chilling.
Crazy, bro. Wow.
I had to call wildlife and fisheries, and they were like, "Hey, everybody, stay out of the parking lot for a little while."
What?
There's gators out there.
That is insane. Also, this just shows how like different of worlds we live in. Like, you got to look under your car.
Yeah,
you really do. Alligator.
You really do.
Yeah, man. Don't mess your car up.
That is crazy work, man.
Don't mess your car up. So,
damn.
Don't hit them. It's like hitting a dinosaur.
Yeah, facts. Have you ever seen an alligator up close?
Never,
bro. So, quick story, Cassie. I used to live in Australia, so we used to see crocodiles all the time.
Okay.
Right? So where we lived, because there were so many crocodiles, part of the tourism was to do crocodile tours. Like, so you go on a boat, you go out there, and one of them is like jumping crocs. You fucking like throw a stake or like hold a stake up in the air with like a fishing pole, I guess. And then an alligator or a crocodile will jump out of the water and catch the stake. Now, when I'm saying jump out of the water, I'm not saying like 4 feet. Like, I mean, it's like 12 feet in the air, and this crocodile is jumping out of water and going up and grabbing this fucking piece of steak. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro.
They starving.
Bro, it's crazy, crazy thing. So, because of that, we got to see these crocodiles up close, like super, super close. And I looked at one, honestly, it was probably about 5-6 feet away from me. And I was like, yo, this looks like what I imagine a dinosaur to look like in the water. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm dead ass serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're brave for that because I grew up here. I've seen alligators a ton, and I don't want to fool with no crocodiles.
Yo,
either.
Like, it was...
They're way more aggressive.
It was one of those moments. So one thing you need to know about me, Cass, is I don't fuck with any animals, period. Like, ever, you know? So I was convinced to do this tour by my lady, shout out Ange, but I was like, as soon as we got out there, and it's not a big boat either. It's not like truthfully, one of these crocodiles could have just walked onto the boat. Like, it was not a boat that had
insane.
like high sides. Like, once we got out there, all I could think to myself is, why the fuck am I out here? Like, why am I stranded in water? All it takes is for him to fucking eat the captain at the front, and we're stuck.
y'all are all
We're
cooked.
dead. And it wasn't like we were seeing 1 or 2 crocs out there. There was hundreds out there just poking their little eyes out, looking at you, waiting for one of us to make a mistake.
Sheesh.
Like, it was terrifying, bro. And then, so my theory was, I'm going to go to the back of the boat because they could just walk on to the front of the boat, you know? And then, so we're going out there, and I look, but even the back, like, you're not here right now, but like, imagine like this couch. It's like the back is like half of this.
Yeah.
So like, I could just stick my arm out and touch the water if I wanted. Like, it was that easy. I'm dead ass serious, bro. It was terrifying. And so we're going out there, and then me and my boy are just talking, and we look back, and there's a croc just stalking the boat, bro. Just in the water, eyes out, just fucking stalking behind us. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to the middle, bro. I was like, this is insane. Because we're watching these dudes jump out and catch like steaks 9, 10, 11, 12 feet in the air. What's stopping him from hopping into this like 3-foot boat?
And snapping your head.
Oh, 100%. Easy. I'm not putting up a fight. This thing is like 8 feet long. Like, you know?
That's some risky shit.
Yeah, bro, it was terrifying. And I was just, for like an hour, I was like, why am I out here doing this, bro? I could see this shit on YouTube. Like, it was terrifying.
Oh, man. No, what do you call it? Have you had alligator? Like, have you ate alligator?
I've eaten crocodile.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay. Some good stuff.
That's
Some good shit.
Fried.
Some good
Yeah,
shit.
some good stuff.
Some good shit. You know what? I lied. I had alligator actually when I was in New Orleans this past summer.
Okay, yeah. Some good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it's all right.
It's very good. Okay, Cass.
If you ever get an opportunity to eat alligator again, get it blackened. It's way better.
Blackened.
Well, you know what? I do tell people black is better. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
You heard it here.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Kaz, before you get back to any interesting stories that you have, how was Nurses Week out there for you? Like how
I didn't even notice that we had
it. And that's how it usually
When
goes.
was that?
Oh shit! When was that?
Nurses Week is like in May, the first week of May. It's always
Something
in the first
like
week
that,
of May. Do you recall what they did for y'all, or?
I don't think, I might be wrong. I don't think they did anything for us.
Healthcare heroes.
Yeah, for sure. We're healthcare heroes. No, I'm pretty sure that they didn't do anything.
That's
you know, maybe they did, and I just didn't read the email because I don't read my emails. But as far as I'm aware, no.
You're a night shifter, right? So that could probably play into that as well too. Because typically, if they do,
that could have something to do with it.
Day shift.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love for the night shift for real, but
the reason the reason why I was asking was because the other day me and Aunt went somewhere, and I think we were talking about a podcast that I had watched recently regarding a doctor and a nurse, and this nurse was talking about how this one hospital that he worked at, they gave out rocks. They gave out rocks for Nurses Week, basically stating that you nurses rock. So you'd get a rock, you would design it and ray-tay-tay, whatever. And yeah, it was basically the hospital's way of saying you guys rock, which is insane.
For sure. That's a really risky move because that's, I mean, you're handing them ammunition, but go off.
That's what I said.
Sure.
I was like, yo, you give me a rock, I'm throwing it at the facility. I'm throwing some shit.
I mean, for sure. I mean, would the facility be damaged? Probably not as much as whenever the one campus caught some bullets.
Facts.
But it's fine. Yeah, they had a little rolling shootout recently. A little drive-by.
Jesus Christ.
Whoops. It's,
Wait, you said there was a drive-by?
yeah, the one over there by the movie theater, the other campus, it was unrelated to the hospital, but there was some damage.
Damn.
So being like being a night nurse in the ICU, I don't know how it is for you guys, but sometimes when we get new admissions, depending on the reason they're there, we'll have to go through their belongings and stuff. Do you guys ever have to do that?
Yeah, we do. We're supposed to.
So have you ever found anything like weird or intriguing in a patient's belongings?
Really, no, not so much. Most of the things that I have found that I remember that, stick with me are like the roaches and the CPAP machines and stuff.
What?
Oh yeah.
I
remember
yes.
love that.
How do you forget that?
I do remember a patient that had roaches on their shits.
That is fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But typically, no. I mean, I don't really find stuff like that. We did have a patient almost set the hospital on fire one time. They were smoking meth and fell asleep with it on their chest. Which I'm not an expert in that either, but I'm pretty sure if you're falling asleep, you're not doing it right.
Correct. Or maybe you're doing it too good. There could be an argument for that too.
Well, anyway, we just had to call the police and be like, hey, can you come and get this stuff?
That's crazy, bro.
It's funny going
That
back.
was pretty much it.
It's funny going back to that cockroach one. I think I was there. I think I remember being there around that time, and the closet was. Yeah, it was. The closet.
It was on step down.
Yeah, the closet was just filled with like, roaches, their belongings, hair.
Oh,
Like,
in a CPAP or just in their belongings?
Hell, I think in their belongings. And hold on, someone's calling me on this line.
Man, that's crazy.
I
guess, you know what? I take that back. I did find once. So essentially, to kind of paint a picture, we had a patient that was admitted and security came up. And I guess this patient has a history of doing some questionable things. Actually, this patient in particular, the reason security came up is because they were admitted the week prior. And he sexually assaulted another patient. Which is why security came out. Yeah. So I just admitted him. Literally finished all his admission stuff. I'm about to go back to the nursing station. And security was like, oh, did you go through his belongings by chance? And I mean, I try not to make it a habit of going through people's stuff. I know that sometimes it is part of the job. However, I was like, no, because to me, honestly, just seemed like a regular dude.
Yeah.
He's totally with it. He's completely alert and orientated. He seems like, for all intents and purposes, a normal dude. And they're like, did you go through his stuff? And I was like, no, I didn't go through his stuff. Should I? And then they proceeded to tell me what had happened last week, and every time he's admitted, they kind of find questionable things. And yeah, I found what looks like meth to me. Now, I don't know what meth looks like if I were to see it, because I've never seen it.
Right.
But there was definitely a pipe in there, one that was definitely used. And it was in like those orange lid piss cups. You know what I'm saying? And I just see like a rock in there. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was kind of bundled with the pipe. So it seemed like it was for whatever you would use for that pipe.
Yeah.
And the dude
they went together.
Right. And I don't care to look through stuff in front of people. I'm like, yo, this is what my job is, And truthfully, I am a lot bigger than most people. So you're probably not going to stop me from looking through your stuff either. So when I grabbed it, I saw his face and I looked at it and I was like, we got to take this, bro. I was like, I can't leave you with whatever the fuck this is in this cup, So yeah, that would probably be up there for me.
I just remembered something. We did have a patient come in and went through his stuff. And he had packed a bag to bring with him. And we went through his stuff because he had taken some medicine that he shouldn't have out of his bag anyway. Doesn't matter. what he did make sure to bring with him to the hospital was a porn DVD. We don't
can't hold off for a couple days. Damn, that's crazy.
Gosh.
That's crazy.
But we don't have DVD players, sir.
Yeah, what is it,
Like,
the 2000s?
Yo, facts, yo, you know what? I will say a couple weeks ago, I had a patient bring in, she was like, oh, she got into a car accident. Her son brought her some shit. And I was like, oh, I tend to keep my patient's area pretty clean. Mm-hmm. So I'm like organizing stuff, cleaning, whatever. And then she's like, oh, can you pass me my DVD player?
Oh, like she had a portable.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Shit.
She's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch a movie. Can you pass it? I was like, we have TVs here with Netflix.
Yeah.
You can just watch the Netflix. She's like, nah, I don't like anything on Netflix. I was like, this thing? I was like, this is a DVD player. I was like, yo, I don't think I've seen one in about 12 years.
Facts.
You know, like at least I can't remember the last time I saw a DVD player like this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Last time.
And she brought like 10, 12 DVDs with her. Like,
that's crazy.
To her credit, they were good movies too. She's got like White Chicks out there and shit.
Oh, White Chicks.
She had White Chicks. Mostly comedies. She had like White Chicks. She had a Denzel movie, the one where he's like in bed. I think it's called like The Negotiator or something, or The Bone Crusher. The Bone Crusher.
Okay.
Good movie. Yeah.
Wow.
Or Bone Collector.
DVDs are still popping, huh?
Yeah. Apparently, to some people. Yeah. I feel like when people come in the hospital, they just like you see all facets of people, and you see how people still live, and it's it's very interesting sometimes.
Some of them treat it as a vacation, honestly.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Yeah, some people move in. Like, I remember this was pre-COVID. I mean, I think COVID changed things a lot.
For sure. But
I remember pre-COVID, I walked out into the waiting room and there were like 4 crock pots plugged in, and the family was like having a party.
That's
and they're like, "Do you want some?" What the?
Y'all would have been like, "You got some gumbo in that bitch?"
They had made like rotel, and like they had like party food.
That is crazy.
In these crock pots set up around like the hospital coffee machine.
That's crazy. Sir, we are about to amputate your leg as you're bringing a crock pot. Oh, that's crazy work, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, limit the salt intake, sir.
Yeah. Fuck, seriously. So for you, I know, Cassie, you had kind of like obviously a different experience than a lot of people because you had a child right before you started school. Is there any advice you could give to any students coming in, maybe in similar situations or anything that you would give?
I'm tempted to say like this. Don't do nursing. Don't listen to that.
Anything other than that.
Real advice. My advice would be just don't give up. Never quit, because you only fail in anything that you do in life. You only fail when you either 1, give up, or 2, die.
Facts.
Otherwise, you're still trying.
That's true.
So just keep going.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know.
Yeah, we've had some.
And don't let anybody make you feel some type of way because you are doing this non-traditionally.
Right.
Yeah, we've had some guests in the past say the same thing. Or no, actually, we've had a few guests say, you know what, they wouldn't go back into and do nursing. Actually, they wouldn't. But yeah, mm-hmm.
It is what it is. There's definitely been patients that I remember, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really helped them. But for the most part, I would say it really, honestly, how fulfilled you are in nursing has a lot to do with what specialty you go into.
For sure.
I'm sure that like people who are like labor and delivery or, nursery, like peripartum, they probably are a lot happier than people who work in like the SICU or CVICU.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I don't know if it's particular to the ICU that I work at. I think it is actually. The way that healthcare is in America, so much is about money. It's a for-profit system, no matter what they, market their facility as a nonprofit. It's for profit. And there is so much fear of, I guess, litigation maybe on the doctor's side of things that we end up basically, especially in the ICU that I worked at, we end up basically like torturing these people, our patients, because we don't want to upset the family.
Right.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of 90-something-year-old nanas that the family is saying, we got to save her. Save her from what? A death with dignity? Like, I mean, I got news for you, buddy. She's not going to make it.
Yeah.
But you end up, I can't tell you how many 90, 80, late 80s, early 90s patients I've coded. That's not a good way to go.
Oh,
but we do it all the time.
I agree.
And it's definitely not glamorous for sure. But like I said, you do have those patients where you can make a positive impact and you do see them get better. And that has to be enough.
Yeah.
It has to be enough.
No, definitely.
If you get caught up in the bad, that's how, especially during COVID, we saw, I had friends that went to rehab over the things that they saw in COVID. I have friends who committed suicide over the things that they saw during COVID.
For sure.
Especially then when there was nobody there that was supporting you. Shoot, the doctors weren't going in them rooms. Administration wasn't even coming to the facility.
Right.
It was all you. So you have to hold on to your joy and don't give up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my advice.
No, that's deep. That's deep. Appreciate you giving that.
I try to be
input.
Philosophical.
A historian,
Yeah. History major right there. Actually, you just when you talked about that cockroach story, it made me remember about the I don't know if you were there. There was a patient. It was the mayonnaise story. I don't know if you heard about the mayonnaise story.
I need more information.
It wasn't
what
on
mayonnaise.
It wasn't on our unit. It was on another unit. But there was a patient that was using mayonnaise as lube too.
That's
I
fucking
do
crazy.
remember that. I do remember that.
You should never use the words mayo and lube in the
Oh
same
my
sentence.
god, this guy was a sicko.
Oh, fuck it.
And I think on that unit they had cameras. Did they have cameras in the room or was it?
They did. And everybody got to see that.
Yes.
Hold on. Whoa. Back up. Paint a story for me. Explain what's going on.
So, and this brings me back to another episode where me and Ant, we had a psych nurse on here, and I asked him a question about how do they have cameras in the psych, in the psych rooms, and you guys were like, no, like that's against like privacy rights act, whatever. Yeah. But then again, I remember that's in Canada.
Yeah.
But in Louisiana, they have cameras in patients' rooms because crazy shit like this can happen. So I remember I had went up there. I don't know. I was just trying to waste some time because the shift was just going too damn slow. So I was talking to some of the other travelers and some of the nurses that work there full time. And I think we had took a glance over to one of the cameras and there was a patient that was just getting it on. Yeah. So I guess the nurse had went in there and there was just a bunch of mayonnaise packs opened and just.
He was taking them off. He was taking them off the sandwich trays.
That's crazy.
Sicko.
That's crazy.
Well, so I'm not sure what the legality is. I'm sure it's legal, but we do have cameras in the vast majority of the rooms, actually.
Yeah.
Just to keep an eye on people because I don't know, especially during COVID, a lot of the med surg rooms, you would put cameras in there so you could make sure they were with us.
Yeah, right.
You're not going in there. But I've seen a lot of those things on camera. That's why we have I don't know if you remember, Junior, the little clothes that would hang up on the bottom of the screen. And you could just put clothes over your patient. You cut them out of Post-it notes, like little T-shirts
Oh, yeah.
on there, so you wouldn't see.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, people do crazy stuff when they're in the hospital, man.
Yo, crazy. I remember once I had a patient. He was a relatively young guy. He was in like his mid-40s.
Mm-hmm.
Was admitted. He was a good-looking dude by all accounts, you know. And I can't even remember what he was there for. It wasn't anything too crazy. And when I was admitting him, his girl came up with him. And whatever, family comes up, no big deal. And it was close to like visiting hours being done.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, can I just stay a little bit just to like get him comfortable in his room, whatever?" Because she brought stuff for him. And I was like, "Absolutely." I typically don't care, and I tell this to patients and their families all the time. I don't care if your family they can't stay all night. I don't care if they stay past visiting hours, as long as you don't interrupt other patients. I don't care, you know. So whatever. I finish his admission stuff. I'm back at the nursing station. An hour later, I do my rounds, and I can hear something in the room. And I was like, ain't no way these people are fucking on that bed, bro. Ain't no way these people. But I'm hearing something, and they have the curtain closed as well. Now, he has a roommate. There is someone in the bed on the other side of the curtain.
Him, yeah.
You know? And I'm just like, please, God. And I'm just like, yo, I just told them straight up. I didn't open the curtain like fucking see what they were doing. I was like, yo, you guys need to stop whatever you're doing. I was like, ma'am, you got to go. I was like, it's time for you to go. You got them comfortable. It's been an hour. Time to go. And then
they were probably playing Twister.
Okay, I was about to, yeah. And I was like, I'm about to come in, and I like opened the curtain, and the dude was already shirtless when he came up. Okay, he was already shirtless, but now she's like fixing up her clothes and shit, and I was just like, come on, bro. I was like, this is a fucking hospital, bro.
Yeah. You said the first story that you were just talking about right now was a patient getting fellatio?
She said it's not for the pod.
Oh, it's not for the pod. Never mind. Never mind that.
That's funny. But yeah, I have known nurses to like have relationships with patients. So I can tell the story because this nurse actually got fired for this. But
is this a male? A male nurse?
This was a male. Actually, you might know this story because we heard it from the same person, maybe on the same day. Actually, yes, definitely.
Yeah. I've met this individual. Actually,
yes, you would have.
He's like a good looking guy.
Yeah,
so I could see that happening.
Good looking ER nurse.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I've actually seen pictures of him. He's a good looking dude. So I guess what happened was there was a young lady. She came to the ED, but she was there for psych reasons. She was in the ED, and essentially, I don't know what happened. Obviously, they liked each other's conversation, whatever. They proceeded to continue to have a relationship outside of her leaving the ER.
Yep.
She went to psych, got discharged eventually. They continued their relationship.
Exchanged numbers and everything, of course.
Right. So, I don't know what happened. This male nurse broke this girl's heart. And
So prior to breaking the nurse's heart, I guess they were sending each other inappropriate photos of one another.
Right.
Which is kind of what effed him up down the road. So, and I guess they eventually met up with one another at, I don't know, whether it was her house, his house, whatever. Did the do.
Yeah.
A couple weeks go by. I guess he just stopped responding to her, kind of cut her off, and she didn't take it too kindly.
Well, it wasn't her. Apparently you're right. She didn't take it too kindly. She was broken up, but it was her sister that knew about the relationship.
Yes.
And her sister went to administration, was like, yo, this dude is, having inappropriate relationship with one of his ex-patients. She's my sister, psych history, blah, 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 blah. She's broken up about it. And yeah, eventually he got fired for this.
Yeah. Like completely. Like I don't think he's working as a nurse anymore.
Yeah.
Unless he's in goddamn Tijuana.
No, this is in Canada. That's actually at the facility that I'm at right now.
That's some Canadian stuff right there. In the U.S. would have been like, so?
Yeah. Well, you have maybe a lawsuit even.
Probably. Yeah. No, definitely. So I don't know where he's at, but there's a whole affidavit and it's on Google somewhere. I remember I found it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know how it is for you guys, Cassie, but whenever a nurse gets in trouble professionally, that goes on their nursing license profile online. So if I were to look up Cassie as an example, if you had any infractions or any restrictions on your license, I could see it there. And if your license,
we do the same thing.
yeah, that's right. And if your license was, if you had like some sort of malpractice suit and there were actual court documents, all of that is like public. The public can see that and read all the court sightings, any documents that were in there.
So we do that too, but we also, at least in Louisiana, the Louisiana State Board of Nursing sends out an email, like I think it's quarterly, to all nurses, and it's basically like, here's everyone who fucked up, and here's what they did, and here's a picture of them.
Oh my
and
God!
This is
Yo,
that is crazy.
They don't care.
They do not play.
They come to you. No, they come to you, and they're like, here's what happened.
Holy shit, that's crazy. See, that's a problem, man. Nurses, we pry too much. So you sent me that. I'm a detective.
Yeah, I'm on
Facebook.
Their Facebook,
I'm finding out
Instagram.
how close do they live to me?
Where did the kids go to school at? So my kids don't go there.
That's crazy work.
It's really interesting, like the things that, because like I said, in the U.S., that would not, at least in my experience, that wouldn't have even, they wouldn't have done anything with that.
Man, that's
crazy. That happened outside, work hours, whatever. There was a nurse at one of these facilities around here that he got arrested for beating his wife. That's why he no call, no show for his shift, because he was in the prison.
Damn.
Yeah, he still works there.
Damn.
Wow.
They were like, it had nothing to do with us.
So what? He's still working?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But that's a criminal offense, and typically they make us do police clearance
if you go through the court and you get charged. But otherwise, it's not. It's not.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, it doesn't affect his nursing, so I guess they don't care. But I mean, I've seen a lot of people get like walked off campus, and they're just told, hey, like, you can either quit or you can get fired. What do you want to do? And then obviously they quit.
For sure.
And they just go work in Texas.
Damn. Yeah. I can see that.
If you truly like, you have to like really like fuck up on the clock,
right,
for them to do something.
Damn.
At least where I work.
Y'all are hard up for nurses.
Yeah, for real. For real. No, I mean, I've seen them pull like the lauded out of a nurse's bag and be like, hey, do you want to quit?
Holy shit.
Damn.
You see, and this is the differences between like for you guys and us. Let's say if they came and they see some dilaudid in a nurse's purse or whatever, for us now, if I'm an employee, I could be like, oh, I have an addiction. Like I have a problem. And legally they cannot fire you. Your employer has to try to get you some help.
So it's the same-ish. So it has to be, they have to do the same thing here, but it has to be you admitting to it before you're caught.
I see.
So if you get caught, well, that's your ass. That's
Yeah.
your postman. But if you admit to it beforehand, then they have to get you some sort of help.
I got you.
And I mean, I think really the first time that you get caught, at least historically speaking, I don't know how it is now, but they pretty much, you just do the little program and you're good.
Yeah, that's
Right.
kind of how it is for us too. Yeah, you
Slap
just
on
go
the
to
wrist.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem is now everybody knows, which can be embarrassing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Protect your license, man.
For sure.
For sure.
Definitely.
Protect your license.
Crazy. So
Always.
one more story actually, and I don't know if you remember this one, but this will be the last one and we'll wrap it up. Do you remember that one tech? I think she was like a phlebotomist tech or whatever, who would always bug me on the night shift. Take my
one
AirPods.
that I wanted to beat her ass.
That one, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god.
The heavy set older white lady?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember her.
This lady, and she would not leave me alone. Like, she knew I was a traveler. She was basically flirting with me in a sense, but like more so, I would think it was sexual assault, honestly speaking. She was just doing the most.
Yeah.
Whether
She
it was
grabbed
like-
you by the pussy or?
No. Like, just touching up on my shoulder, taking my belongings.
Yeah.
Just unnecessary shit. So I think around this time, I'm thinking, so mind you, I'm in Louisiana and I'm in the process of getting my property. I talked about it on one of the episodes where I'm planning on, purchasing a property, staying in the room instead of being in the motel that I was at.
Yeah.
And throughout this process, I think I had seen a couple properties prior to my shift. And my realtor at the time dropped me off at work instead of dropping me off at the motel because I was already in my scrubs and everything.
Yeah.
So I was about an hour and 30 minutes early to work. So I'm just sitting down on the outside, just chilling, watching some NBA games. Or no, I was on the phone with my homeboy. So we're talking, just, wasting time until my shift starts. And out of nowhere, she pops up. And then she goes, "Oh, what are you doing here at work so early?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just looking at some property, nothing big. I'm just waiting for my shift to start." She goes, "Oh, where are you staying at right now?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at a motel. It's kind of crummy, It's kind of in the hood, kind of not, but a few roaches here and there. Just not a good environment for me to live in, so that's why I'm kind of looking for a place."
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, I have an offer for you." And then I'm like, and mind you, I have my AirPods in and my homeboy's listening to this.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So now she's like, "I have an offer for you. The offer is, my house is about 30 minutes away from the facility. If you want, I have a big house. I have a room that's not being used. You can stay in that room if you want." And my friends in my ear saying, "Yo, take that. I'm like, I don't know about that. I got to think about it." She goes, "Well, think about it. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I have it on the table for you." And I think she was charging me. So in the motel extended stay that I was staying at, it was $1,200.
Okay.
She was offering me $200 to stay in her
God damn.
room. So that's why my friend was like,
With
"Yo,
some
take that offer."
caveats.
So here's where it gets crazy, right? So I'm like, "Yeah, let me think about it." So I'm talking to my friend. And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not taking that offer. This lady's been bugging me the first day I got to this hospital, like sexually harassing me type shit."
Yeah.
And, I talked to my mom about it, talked to my homeboy, and my homeboy made a joke saying, "Man, you better be careful because if you take that offer and you're sleeping, you may wake up with your boxers on backwards."
Yo, you no Diddy.
No Diddy for real. So now, I think a couple days go by. She keeps asking me, bugging me, asking me. And I'm like, "Listen, yeah, I'm not going to take the offer. I'm good. Like, I don't need it." So she kind of seemed offended about it.
Right.
So I'm like, "Yeah, it's just, I don't want to live 30 minutes away from the facility. That means I would have to leave earlier just to come to work and all that. But at the same time, I just don't know you like that."
Right.
Now, fast forward a little bit after I kind of shut down that offer, there's this X-ray tech, black girl, good looking. So I've been talking to this girl for like a couple of days, just trying to check her temperature, see if she has a boyfriend or not. You know what I mean?
I get you.
And I'm talking to her, and out of nowhere, the phlebotomist pops out of nowhere and goes, "Oh, are you going to continue flirting or are you going to take care of your patients?"
Holy fuck.
And I'm like, "Yo, where the fuck is this energy coming from?" You know what I mean? So now the X-ray tech is like, "All right, yeah, I'm just going to go now, but you take care." And I'm like, "Yo, fuck, man." Cock blocked me. So I'm like, "Yo, what is wrong with you?" She goes, "Oh, nothing. I just thought it'd be important for you to take care of your patients right now." I'm like, "Man, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?" So I just walk away. Man, this lady, honestly, annoying as hell. Cassie knows.
You should have got Cassie to beat her ass right there, bro.
Literally, I should have. But
There was I know there were multiple times whenever I said things to her because, okay, I can't remember all the details because it was like every single time that I saw her, she had something to say, and I'm popping back because I don't like you.
Yeah.
It's not a secret, okay? And I didn't like her, and everything she said, I was just like, "Oh my God, shut up!" Like, stop talking. So, and I'm very protective of my friends anyway. And at this point, you know, I've been knowing Junior for a while.
Yeah.
And that's my friend. And so he's, as you know, so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just see that he's like uncomfortable. And I know there are multiple times I was like, hey, leave him alone. Go away.
Yep.
She was something else. She was very like single white female.
Damn.
For
Yeah,
sure.
big time.
Go over there.
Yeah, like she'll take my AirPods and hide them somewhere.
What?
Like some high school, elementary type shit. I'm like, what the fuck? To the point where I'm like, where the fuck are my AirPods? And I had to go home without them.
She wanted you to come home with them, man.
Basically, yeah.
That's what it was. Jesus.
She was very strange.
Very strange. Yeah.
Strange. I don't know. She just, like I said, it was every single thing that she said. And I don't have no reason to dislike her, but everything she said, I was like, damn, do you ever shut up? Oh my God. He could be like, hey, is room 7 a lab draw? And I'd be like, oh my, yes. Like,
Yes. That's why the order's in, bitch.
Yeah.
Do you see a sign that says nurse draw? No.
Right.
Idiot. Like, I don't know why. There's something about her. I didn't like her.
I get it.
Her vibes were bad. Clearly.
She was on some get Junior by all means vibes, you know?
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it though. Cass, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing them stories, Cass.
Yeah, this is a good episode.
Thank you for having.
No problem.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we'll wrap it up right here. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. We on Instagram, TikTok. Where else are we on? YouTube, of course. Spotify. Yeah, Apple Podcasts. You know, yeah. Episode 19.
Yes, sir. Shout out Cassie.
Thank you so much. And
strong work.
I'll let you know when the episode comes out.
Yes, sir.
Or I'll send it to you early in advance, actually.
Yeah. Do that.
All right. Most definitely. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Peace.